Welcome back, Messiah. I'm James Hellman.
And I'm Brandon Cruz. James, it's been a few weeks since we've had a show. Catch us up on what you've been up to.
Well, Brandon, just like probably every other student here, I was going through the stress of midterms, but once we got through that, had a nice fall break, worked a couple days, got to go to a hockey game with some friends, spent a day trip to New Jersey, so overall good relaxing time, but happy to be back at the desk. What about you?
Yeah, I'm happy to be back here with YBTV. Midterms went pretty well for me. Just schoolwork, just been piling up as we get to the middle to the end of the semester, but it's been manageable so far. And here at YBTV, we are excited to share a special announcement with you tonight. In just a few weeks, it'll be Lights, Camera, KP here in the YBTV studio. President Kim Phipps will be joining us for a town hall on November 27th. Tune in and learn more about the president's experience at Messiah and the future of the university as we chat with her in our hour-long program. And we'll also be asking select questions submitted by students in the comments of our YouTube live stream.
The Asian Student Association held a K-pop workshop, an event in the Falcon Fitness Center, giving attendees the opportunity to refine their dance moves to a Korean pop hit.
Workshop event where we are teaching a dance called Seven by Jungkook or BTS. And so it's just a fun little time where students who are interested in K-pop can share their little interests with everyone else and have a good time.
ASA holds events just like this one all year round, so stay tuned to YBTV and follow at MessiahU_ASA on Instagram to never miss a beat.
The Early American Democracy Lecture, sponsored by the Department of History, Politics, and International Relations, serves to get the Messiah community thinking about democracy. This year, Dr. Sarah Myers settled on Dr. Keisha Blaine as speaker. Dr. Blaine's book, Until I Am Free, The Story of Fannie Lou Hamer, was the centerpiece of her lecture, as well as speaking on democracy and human rights history.
Dr. Keisha Blaine is a professor of history and Africana studies at Brown University, and I'm really excited about it because when I was thinking about people to represent American Democracy Lecture, she was actually the first person to come to mind because she has just like a really broad publishing record. She's published things academically, but also for like MSNBC and for different organizations online, and she just seems to be like a public voice that we need to hear.
The night concluded with a book signing and Dr. Blaine connecting with audience members.
Messiah's Student Activities Board hosted a monster mash to celebrate Halloween this past weekend in the Union. The dance was Messiah's take on a silent disco, where attendees could wear headphones for a personalized musical experience. Those in attendance were encouraged to dress up in costume to enjoy the fright-filled festivities that included a photo booth as well as Halloween-themed snacks and treats. Look out for more dances hosted by SAB as the year continues.
Over 100 employees attended the Career Expo job fair hosted by the Career and Professional Development Center this past Wednesday. Students dressed to impress, spoke to recruiters, and found some potential jobs that they might be interested in.
Fairs each year. We have our fall event, the Career Expo, and that's happening now, and we have 116 employers that are coming to it. We do this event every fall to have the employers here make it easy for students to network and find internship opportunities and job opportunities. It's important to attend the Career Expo as a student regardless of what year you are. This is a great opportunity to network with employers, learn about jobs, internships, and make correct connections for your future.
If you miss the fair, no worries, as the Career and Professional Development Center is open every weekday from 10 to 4 to help find the right job for you.
The History Club hosted their annual Halloween party this past Friday. The night of fearful festivities consisted of a Halloween-themed Kahoot, a game of Wrap the Mummy, a plethora of dastardly delectables, history-themed Jeopardy, and of course, something a Halloween party wouldn't be complete without, a costume contest. Prizes were awarded to those with the best costume overall, best duo costume, and most historically accurate.
History, maybe that is a way. We try to provide different opportunities for students to experience history. Maybe that is a way outside of the classroom where they're just necessarily reading and writing papers and things like that. Trying to provide something that's interactive and fun, where we can connect everybody's interests into one shared experience.
The History Club's Halloween party was a great way for new members to get a taste of the club through fun festivities and a welcoming atmosphere. The History Club hosts events just like these all year round, so be sure to stay tuned to YBTV and follow at MU_History Club on Instagram to never miss an event.
These have been some great stories, James. Stay tuned for more after this break.
Welcome back to Falcon Update, your place to get caught up on all things Messiah. I'm James Hellman.
And I'm Brandon Cruz. James, I feel like the weather this week has been all over the place. I mean, over the weekend, it was like 75, 80. It felt like late July, early August, and it's late October, early November. Just, that was kind of annoying to me, feeling summer again. Just, it's all over the place.
Well, you know, Brandon, that's kind of how it is. Being here and living in Central PA my entire life, the seasons here don't really exactly like to line up with where they're supposed to be, so you're going to be seeing that, and I think it might even fluctuate a little bit more this week. And this week, we're in for a treat because Reed Milliken is our weatherman. Let's hear about those dew points, Reed.
James, Brandon, thank you so much. We'll get to those dew points in just a second. Let's first start off with looking at where we are right now. So as you can see, we got 51 outside right now. It's a little cloudy. The high for today was 58, low was 36. So it's about, you know, what you come to expect with that October weather. Precipitation was 30%, which I personally felt 100% of. I was drizzled on quite heavily today, but that's all right. It's time to break out the raincoat, you know. Let's move on now to the surface map for the entire country here. So as you can see up here, we've got some blue and some purple making its way down over the top of Pennsylvania. Thankfully, it's going to miss us just to the north, so that snow, that hail, that sleet, we're not going to have to worry about that for at least a couple more weeks. That is going to push some colder weather on top of us, unfortunately, so it might be time to break out the winter jacket on top of the raincoat. But again, it's October, you know, it's time to start getting into that winter weather. You know, I personally am ready for it. I don't know about you guys. But now we can take a look at the dew point. So as you can see right here, we're looking at 60 right above Harrisburg right here. And the thing with dew points is whenever it's over 60, that's kind of when you start to feel a little sticky, you know. You go outside and you're getting sweaty real easily. And then whenever it's below 40, it's when it's time to start breaking out the lotion, you know. Your skin starts cracking, your skin gets real dry. And thankfully, we're sitting right at that 60 mark, so we don't have to worry about that too much yet. Let's take a look at the entire week's expected dew points. As you can see on Monday, we got a 50, which is like what I was talking about. We're right at that sweet spot. You don't really have to worry about the extremities of either side. But we do dip down to 26 on Thursday, which is quite low. We do come back up on Friday with 36. But again, it might be time to start breaking out that winter clothing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look now at the rainfall total. So as you can see, Harrisburg right here, we're looking at about 0.07 inches of precipitation, which sounds wonderful to me. You know, I'm not much of a rain guy myself. I know it's good for the grass and the vegetables, but personally, I like my drier temperatures, all right? So I'm quite happy about that. And I'm going to be even happier as we go into the 7-day forecast here because, as you can see, there is absolutely no rain expected at all. So let's take a look at that. As you can see, Tuesday all the way through Monday, no rain. It's going to be a little cloudy, but again, it is the fall, so that's kind of what you come to expect. Temperatures are all going to be right in a good sweet spot, too. You know, we got 50 all the way up to 66 is our highest for the week. And with the lower, we are kind of hitting those winter temperatures like I was talking about, but it is fall. You know, this is what you come to expect. Time to break out the sweatshirt in the morning. Might be able to shed down to a long sleeve tee in the afternoon, but Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I am looking forward to a great week of weather coming up. Sending it back to the desk.
Thanks, Reed. And you know, Brandon, I think I agree with him. The fall weather, really, there is nothing better. I'm a sucker for hoodies myself.
I am as well, and it's good that over this weekend it's going to be nice and sunny, very temperate. Temperature is good for whatever outdoor events. And speaking of events, now putting the CAM in campus calendar, Cameron Fisher brings us the latest in campus events. Cameron?
Hello, Messiah University. I'm Cameron Fisher, and welcome to this week's edition of Campus Calendar. With midterms slowly wrapping up, there are plenty of events around campus for you to ease your mind, so let's see what's happening around campus. This week on Wednesday night, the CPDC is hosting a Pizza and Professionals with Joni and Friends from 12 to 1 p.m. in Parmer Cinema. This organization works to preach the gospel with people with disabilities around the world. This is a great opportunity for education, HDFS, social work majors, and more. Thank You Thursday is happening at the Kim Phipps Admissions Building. Stop by for free donuts, coffee, and hot chocolate, as well as connecting with members of each office. On Friday, plan on dinner at the Union and get a taste of the world, sponsored by SGA and MCC. Each MCC club partners with a local restaurant to bring authentic food for students to try. But don't go anywhere because turkey toss starts at 7. Want $1 off that ticket you got? Bring Thanksgiving food items to donate at Brubaker Auditorium. Lastly, on Saturday night, Messiah University's percussion ensemble will be performing. The performance will take place in Palmer Hall from 7:30 to 9, and tickets are free. That's it for Campus Calendar. I'm Cameron Fisher.
Thanks, Cameron. Brandon, what are you listening to?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm actually listening to nothing. These aren't even really connected to anything. I just wear those so people think I'm preoccupied and they don't talk to me.
Oh, well, that's just the question Sarah Marshall asked on this week's Falcon on the Street. Sarah?
Welcome to this week's edition of Falcon on the Street. I'm Sarah Marshall, and this week we're asking students, what are you listening to? So let's hop right into it, shall we?
Right now, I am listening to I Don't Wanna by Within Temptation. They're a symphonic metal band from the Netherlands.
What I was listening to was Back in America by Network. It was from this TV show from 1985. It's a really rock, pumped up song.
I'm listening to lo-fi music on YouTube. Yeah, this is great, and I'm studying, and it helps me study.
The song Corner by the Arcadian Wild just came on. I don't know if I've heard it before, so it's a surprise.
I'm listening to Baila Julia Luisa. It's a Plena song that I'm listening to for a class, but it's actually really good. It's like Puerto Rican dance music.
I'm listening to I Really Want to Stay at Your House from the Cyberpunk soundtrack by Rosa Walton.
And that's all for Falcon on the Street. Thanks so much for watching. For YBTV, I'm Sarah Marshall.
Thanks, Sarah. You know, Brandon, I like my eggs sunny side up, hard-boiled, over easy, scrambled, deviled, poached, pickled, or, in this case, rare and unhatched.
James, what on earth are you talking about?
Well, Brandon, did you know that Messiah has a collection of over 20,000 rare eggs?
Why?
That's exactly the question Kelly Gainey unlocked on this week's The Vault. Let's hear about it.
This week, I decided to travel across campus and inclined to check the museum's rare egg collection, donated by Bart Snyder in the 1990s.
Noelle Falk, director of the Oaks Museum at the time, met Snyder through a mutual friend in early 1996. Falk then invited Snyder to visit Messiah. He was so impressed with the cleanliness of the other collections, he knew his collection would be in the right hands and willed his collection of rare eggs to Messiah. It is now the largest privately held collection of bird eggs in North America. Today, the Oaks Museum has been diligently working to catalog the collection and take record of every bird species included.
Here at the Oaks Museum, you can find tons of different unique collections, just like the Snyder Egg Collection. That's all for this week from me and Takufa here at the Oaks Museum. Make sure to tune in next week for Unlock the Vault.
Thank you for that, Kelly. Unfortunately, James, this brings us to the end of Falcon Update, but don't go away. We'll be back with YBTV Sports after this.
My name is Macy Thornton. I'm a senior and I'm a public relations major. I was initially drawn to the public relations major because I've always been great with people and the skills are very transferable. One thing that's definitely unique to Messiah is that they teach from a Christian perspective, and I've been able to use that in internships and those types of opportunities. The professors are great, they're very approachable, and they genuinely want to see you succeed. I'm involved in athletics in that I'm on the Messiah women's basketball team, and it's been one of the most enriching experiences of my life. I'm in a class called Senior PR Campaign, and we're working for an actual nonprofit organization off campus, so we're helping them with some PR related things, and it's just really great to actually put theory into practice and to feel like you're making a difference even though you're still in school. And I also had the opportunity to do an internship with a minor league baseball team. PR practitioners have to conduct themselves ethically. They have to have integrity. They have to be honest and transparent with the people they work with. So ethics is a big part of public relations. I believe Christian PR practitioners are called to hold themselves to a higher standard because of their beliefs, and that should show in their professional life. I feel very prepared with regard to the experiences I've had, the internship opportunities I've had, and the knowledge I have that the PR major has given me and the skills I've attained through it.
Sports! Welcome back to YBTV Sports. I'm Ken Kukin.
And I'm Officer Ken Harlacker. We have a great segment for you guys today.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're not in our actual, usual professional dress apparel.
Yeah, and that's because we decided to celebrate Halloween on YBTV a day earlier.
Well, that's enough about Halloween already, though, because we have some awesome highlights for you. So let's go to the Falcon 4 to check them out. Highlight, let's go to York, where the #1 Falcons took on the Spartans. The Falcons look to keep their undefeated season alive in the regular season finale. All right, a little rewind there, but here's a little give and go action from Cole Christian and Matt McDonald, and Christian serves up a beauty into the box, and Morlote finishes a beauty of a goal. And we're going to see it here again. Cole Christian sends this ball in perfectly, 1 bounce, 2 bounce, ball in the back of the net. Everything going right for Messiah men's soccer. That was Morlote's first goal of the season. Falcons won by a score of 3-0. The victory over the Spartans now give the team a 17-0-1 overall record and a 7-0 conference record to end the season.
The 5th-ranked Messiah field hockey team also faced off against the 9th-ranked Spartans of York College on Saturday afternoon. The Falcons came into this one with a record of 15-1 and hope to stay undefeated through conference play. The Falcons defeated the Spartans 2-0 in a close one, but the first goal of the game set the tone for the rest of the matchup. So here we see 10 minutes left in the second half, and Carrie Bears breaks it away from the defender and right past the goalie into the back of the cage. Beautifully done there. 0-0 game, as you can see in the second. Let's get another look at that one. See the defender going for that, and Bear just swoops in with her stick and takes it away, and the goalie can't get there in time, and she puts it in the back of the cage. Nicely done there, and that goal by Bear was followed up with another scored by Aubrey Clark in the last minute of the first half. The Falcons shut out the Spartans in the second half, coasting to a 2-0 win and finishing with a record of 15-1. The Falcons will host the Stevenson Mustangs in the first round of the MAC Commonwealth Tournament on Wednesday night.
And on Tuesday, women's volleyball matched up against Albright. It was all Falcons as they dominated their conference rival, sweeping them 3-0. The sweep of the Falcons came with its fair share of highlights, but this one certainly stuck out. Here we see Albright just having to push it over the net, and now the Falcons smell blood in the water. Here's the first spike, and then watch this spike. The killer right there off the rebound. Unfortunately for the Lions, all they could do was just push it over there, and Katie Quessenberry was right there, perfectly set up for the kill. Falcons improved their record to 19-6 after this victory. On Friday, they battled against Franklin and Marshall, but ended up getting swept. They have 2 more games this week to finish up their regular season.
And Caleb mentioned something about Marolte's goal against the York College Spartans on Saturday night, but I have another for you against the Alvernia Golden Wolves this Saturday of fall break. The Falcons won 1-0 thanks to a lone goal from who else but Matt McDonald. So you can see here, dribbling up, nice little pass to Matt McDonald, as sweeping away from 2 defenders and just chips it into the back of the net over the goalie. Oh, that's classic Matt McDonald right there. And let's get another look at that one as the team surrounds him. A beautiful pass here right to McDonald. 2 defenders closing in on him, but he breaks away, almost tripping one up in the process, and just a nice chip over the goalie. Beautifully done there from McDonald. And they took the 1 seed for the MAC Commonwealth Tournament and will face off against the 4th seeded Stevenson Mustangs this Wednesday night at Shoemaker Field. This will be the Falcons' 31st conference tournament as they search for their 21st conference title.
That does it for the Falcon Four. And one thing about the Falcon Four is that we're somewhat limited to the sports we get to cover. And it's hard to gloss over Messiah Cross Country competing in the MAC Championships.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, but we're already talking about the MAC Championship competitions here at Messiah. Here at YBTV Sports, we went on location to take in all the action at this year's highly anticipated cross-country MAC Championships, held at Misericordia this weekend. Here's PJ Riddell from Letterkenny Field. PJ?
Thanks, guys. As you can see, we've made the trip to Misericordia University, and you can see all the hustle and bustle behind me as they set up the tents, which must mean that it's about time for the cross-country MAC Championships.
Before the races unfolded on Saturday, Messiah's men's team was projected to finish second and the women in 4th. And after the races were completed, the men finished in 3rd place and the women in 5th for the Falcons. For the men, who had won the last 2 seasons back-to-back, the 3rd place finish affirms the strength of the conference and what work still needs to be done.
Every season I've been a part of the team, we've had it pretty easy. You know, we've won both years I've been a part of the team for this, and we're going to have to work a little harder for that. And just today is a reminder of the competition that it's in the conference. It's a lot better than years past, and we're going to have to rise up and match it.
While the Falcons didn't come away with any team titles, a number of Falcons claimed strong individual finishes, highlighted by Katie Anthony's 3rd place finish, landing her on the first team all-conference.
The big goal in my head was like top 3, so it was like I want to run to win it, but obviously, I don't know, absolutely thrilled. Couldn't run 2 years ago, and getting to come back and get 3rd in MAC got us really good.
For the men's team, Luca Fetter was the top finisher in 7th place, making first team as well, despite not feeling 100% on a tough course.
It was a really hard race. I'm proud of myself that I finished. Running like solo in no man's land for a while was really difficult.
While Fetter was last year's MAC Rookie of the Year for the men, this year Madison Kimmel earned the Rookie of the Year title for the Falcons, following her 14th place finish, an honor and a result she credits her teammates for playing a significant role in.
I haven't always had a group of girls this close in time together in high school, so definitely having her Natalie, Teddy, and Katie to run with and push me each day is has been so helpful. It's really just pushed.
Freshman Max, and she got second team all time.
This is her first time medaling, so yeah.
While conference competition is over for the Falcons cross-country team, the season isn't over yet. They'll compete in the Mid-Atlantic Regionals on November 12th as they make their bid to compete in Nationals. For YBTV Sports, from Misericordia University, I'm PJ Rydell.
Thank you, PJ. It's so cool that you get to cover the cross-country team as they have some incredible athletes.
And also, we just want to say congratulations to all who won MAC awards and just a fantastic season in general for you guys.
Well, that does it all for YBTV Sports. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for putting up with our costumes. Stick around as YB Tonight is up next on YBTV.
Good evening and welcome to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Sarah Marshall. It has been a while since our last show, so I hope you are ready for tonight. First, we will sit down with Grayson Schmidt to talk about Alter. Then our very own Nathan Perlis will be singing a song for us, followed by a quick interview. But before we begin, let's take a look at this week's Beyond the Breeches.
Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Breeches. I'm Jessica Fannin. This week, I went a little further off campus to Baltimore City to interview Messiah alum Marie Miller, who is currently producing a show for a news station. Let's go check it out.
I am a producer here at WBAL. I work here full-time. Usually, I produce the 6 a.m. morning show weekdays, so that shift looks like I come in at 11 p.m. I work for those 8 hours, and then at 6 a.m. I go into the control room and we have the show, and then I am on my way home by 7 a.m.
During her time at Messiah University, Miller served in many different positions within YBTV. She finished her time as executive producer, where she oversaw many key aspects of the show. Being a member of the crew from YBTV's early days set her up for success in the real world.
An initial hearing on Monday.
Basically, when I come in, the first thing I do is I talk to our assignment desk and I ask them, hey, what's been going on today while I've been out, especially on a weekend. And then after that, I come over here to my desk. I'll open up our ENPS, which is our rundown creator, which has everything from scripts to graphics to cues and all of that, video sources, all of that goes into the rundown creator, which then is translated into the control room, into their respective areas.
Even though Miller is not from Baltimore, she still finds ways to connect with her audience. This might include taking a day to explore the city or consulting other members of the station that have lived in the city their whole lives. She is always mindful as a producer of the regions her news station covers, no matter how far away they are.
The preparation that goes into these anchors is incredible. Like, they put so much time and effort because they truly care about presenting themselves on behalf of the news station, because it really is, they're putting themselves out there. You write something for them, but they're the ones that are going to get made fun of if they say it and it's wrong.
Miller explained that YBTV gave her prior knowledge that helped her understand the smaller details of the show, such as the director's job and the mechanics of the control room.
Any shift that they give me is an honor because I love working here. The people are amazing. My fellow producers, my managers, they're so willing to help. It didn't matter what shift I was on because I knew that I was going to love it either way, and I was going to love the people that I worked with.
That's all for this week's Beyond the Breeches. Check back next week for more. What?
Thank you, Jess. We'll be right back with an interview after the break.
My name is Natalie Moy. I'm a senior and I'm a digital media major. I feel like the classes here have helped me to train my eye to detect good design. I like how the professors don't force you into one way of thinking. Instead, they allow you to be creative and think of projects in your own way, and they will guide you and help you envision your project to make it even better and stronger. I have this one professor who starts off his classes with prayers, and I feel like that's really great because it starts us off reminding us that we are creating something for God, so we have that in our minds to create something that He will be pleased with. In my portfolio, I have quite a large variety of works. I have design-based works, I have photography, I have videography. One of the big projects I will be expecting in my portfolio would be from the junior-senior film class that I'm taking this semester. I'll be the production designer for this short film, and I'm looking forward to work with my crew because they're all awesome people. Messiah has this media hub called The Pulse, so I've been working for them for the past few months, and you can do stuff like designing, photography, videography, at the radio station, and you can even design websites, write articles. I think it's a really great opportunity for me to get my work out there. I'm a designer, so people on campus or even off campus get to see what I do, and I think that's really great. So if you're a digital media student, you could go into computer science fields, or you could go into the film industries or graphic design. I guess it's the beauty of digital media, it's just so versatile.
Schmidt here to talk about Alter. Grayson, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. So, for those who maybe aren't familiar with Alter, how would you describe it?
Yeah, so Alter is a weekly gathering of prayer and worship, and our goal is really to create a space that is both honoring and glorifying to the Lord, where we allow Him to really make the space what He desires for it to be each week.
That's really lovely. I love that. How did you first get involved with Alter?
So I'm a sophomore, so I've only been going for a year and a half, and I remember going last fall and really connecting with a lot of the leaders and a lot of the other people that attended, just because it's a very like-minded space. Everyone that goes there and a lot of the new friends that I've gained really have a heart that desires to go there and praise the Lord and love the Lord with everything that they are. And so I started getting involved last fall, and I've been going ever since.
That's awesome. So what initially drew you into Alter?
Yeah, so I think the first time that I went, I really loved how humble the leadership was and how much they really believed and trusted the Lord with that space, and really knew that it was the Lord that was going to change hearts and change the space, and He would be the one that would be present in the room, changing hearts and bringing joy and peace and comfort. And it wasn't by the strength of any of the leaders. It was really the Spirit and the Spirit alone. And so they really held that space with humility, and really I think that is so honoring to the Lord that they wanted to step away and let the Lord be lifted up instead of the leadership being lifted up. So.
Yeah, that's really great. What is your current position at Alter?
So this semester I stepped into the position of Alter coordinator, and so I work with my team to facilitate meetings where we just pray and ask the Lord what He has for each week, and we hold those meetings every week, but I'm just in charge of sitting with the Lord, asking for direction, and then bringing it to my team and saying, what do you guys think about this? And let's pray together about it and see if this is a direction that He wants us to go this week. So
Definitely.
Alter coordinator.
What has your time with Alter been like?
So recently we've been in a theme this semester of 2 words, abide and abandon. And so we haven't figured out exactly what the Lord has for that theme, but we felt really strongly that abide was a word we're supposed to focus on this semester. And so we've really been digging into, okay, what does it mean to abide in the vine? What does it mean to really be connected to God and just live a daily devotion to the Lord? And so we've been digging into what does it look like to abide. And with abandon, we're looking at, okay, when we are abiding daily, what does that mean for the rest of our life? What does that mean for for the other things that aren't related to God, and that is living in full abandon of those things. And not saying that they don't matter, but saying that choosing to abide in God is more fulfilling, and that's actually like the purpose that we have. And so we've been focusing on abide and abandon this semester, and it's been really sweet to see how the Lord is using each of us as leaders, but also just freeing up the space as a place of peace and comfort, and just a safe space for people to come.
And do you think that's like really being received by the people who are able to come?
Yeah, I think so.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, we've had, not that it's about numbers at all, but we've really seen an increase of numbers this semester. And as the weeks go on, we keep seeing familiar faces that are new this semester. And so it's really sweet to build relationships just beyond just seeing them once and then them leaving, but seeing them again and again, and really building relationships with the people that come have been really sweet.
You know you're doing something right when people are returning.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
really great. I know that Asbury students came recently, like what with the revival that happened. Is there anything that you would want to touch upon with that?
Yeah, thanks for asking. That's a great question. So last week on Tuesday, we had Asbury students join us. There were 4 of them that came, and they joined for our morning chapel here on campus, our evening chapel, and then they joined us for altar. And they led in different ways in the morning and the evening, and they basically came with the intention of being testimonies and just sharing their experiences from the Asbury outpouring, revival, whatever you want to call it. And they really came with humility and grace, but they came with so many stories of the revivals like changing and shifting their entire life. And so they really took like the passage of scripture seriously, where like our testimonies is a spirit of prophecy. And so they really came with really eager hearts to encourage us as students to go after revival and go after change, and really believe in our hearts that God is for change, and He actually wants us to live lives of peace and comfort, but also to uproot things that aren't of Him and just step into newness with Him. And so it's a really powerful space to have them in on Tuesday, and we really saw the Spirit really take over this space. I mean, we had plans for scripture and teaching and worship, and one of the students, Tyler, from Asbury, he came ready to play guitar for worship, and after about 15 minutes of him playing, he like set it down, and the room just lifted up their own song. And so someone in the room would sing one song and everyone else would join in, and then it would get silent for a couple minutes, and you could really feel like the tangible presence of God, but also believe in truth that He's still there even if we don't feel it at the same time. And so it was really sweet to see the Spirit lead even past our stop time. We usually go from 9:30 to 10:30, but we ended up going till 12:30. And so we don't believe that it was because the Asbury students were there that it went so late, but that people came hungry to receive and give. And it was just really sweet and really awesome to be with the Lord in that space last week.
Yeah, it seems like a very full experience.
Yeah.
If you could give like a 30-second pitch for altar, what would that be?
Oh man, pitch. So I would say if anyone is looking for a space on campus to come to a safe space that is open to worship and pray in whatever way that looks like for you, whether that's through like creative outlets like painting and drawing and journaling, or whether that's through praying with a friend, or even like reading scripture out loud. Like, this is an open space where we invite people of every nation, tribe, and tongue to come and gather together in unity. And this week we're going to be like spending time in scripture at the beginning, and then we're going to dive right into worship. And so if you're looking for a space where others are worshiping and praying and going after the presence of God, then I would say you guys should totally join, because it's a really sweet time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Are there any other events that Altar may have coming up?
So we do an event called Harp and Bowl, where we pick we partner with another group on campus, and we pick a nation or just a people group that is going through trial, tribulation, whatever that looks like, and we really intentionally hold a space where we educate and pray for that specific group. It's really a space of intercession and just a time to gather in unity for a specific people group. And we just had one of those about a month and a half ago, and I believe that we're going to have another one this semester. And so I would just say to keep an eye out on our Instagram, and that will have all of our events coming up soon.
Definitely, so be sure to keep an eye out for these events.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything I may have missed, anything you might want to add?
I don't think so. I mean, we gather every week, Tuesday nights at 9:30. So.
Great. Means hit my bases. Well, unfortunately, that is all for this interview. I've enjoyed getting to speak with you. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this break.
A student would want to study the finance major here at Messiah for several reasons. Students here are working and practicing in a setting in our finance lab with technology that they're going to use when they leave here and work in the field. And so our students are certified in Bloomberg. In addition, in several classes, our students are actually performing consulting projects with local financial and investing firms.
I think the biggest thing that surprised me about coming for the finance major here was just the scope that you get in all the different classes. So anything from corporate finance to portfolio management, security analysis, you touch on everything. Getting into investment club was something I really was looking forward to coming here to Messiah. I knew from very early on I wanted to get involved.
There's nothing wrong with going out, being successful, making money, but not allowing money to have a higher place in your life than God. So our goal is to get our students started off on their career path quicker and better positioned than any of their peers.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Sarah Marshall, and I'm here with Nathan Perlis, who will sing us a song. Nathan, take it away.
Like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you. Let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter. Let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come, let me love you. Come love me again. give my life to you. Come let me love you. Come love me again. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again.
And that was amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time. We will be right back after this break.
I grew up creative, always drawing, Legos, played a ton of Legos from the time I could start putting them together. When I got into school, I thought I was going to be a painter, and then I thought I was going to be a graphic designer, but it wasn't until I took my first foundations of art class, 3D design, where I was carving a salt block, just a little carpenter chisel, and I stuck it underneath the water, and it kind of started deteriorating, and I loved it, and it felt comfortable and it felt right, and that's when I realized that 3D is where I belong. Sculpture is what I needed to pursue. If you feel that passion in your belly, if you wake up and you got to make something, if you grab a paper clip and you manipulate it into some form, or you're doodling in your sketchbook, or everything you do you see through a more creative side, then listen to that spirit talking in you and follow it. And for that young artist, it's hard and it's difficult, but you got to just keep on doing it. You got to just keep on doing it. We were all there. We want to hang out with you. We want you to look over our shoulder and watch us cut this piece. Ask us that question. Don't be scared. Everybody has that starting point.
Hello and welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm here with Nathan Perlis. Nathan, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing spectacular. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, that's great.
So, what inspired you to select this specific piece tonight?
Well, I mean, it's a song by John Denver, a folk and country singer from the 70s. I just love his music in general. It's just very, upbeat, wholesome, makes you feel good type of music. And this one is one of my favorites, but it's sort of hard to pick a favorite with him because they're all just so, they just make you feel good. And that's the kind of music that I like to stick with. So
I'm glad to hear it. What first got you into singing?
Well, that's an interesting story. So back when I was like a freshman in high school, I never would have done the sort of thing I just did a couple of minutes ago. I barely talked to anyone. It's just, I never would have seen myself as a performer. But I watched the school productions, and something just clicked with it. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try to do that. I auditioned a couple years, slowly gained my confidence, and with that, you know, I was mainly into acting with that, but the singing just came with it, and I always enjoyed singing anyway. But it just, but before that, I wouldn't have thought that I really had that great of a voice. But as I gained in confidence in with my stage presence, then my voice sort of went with it. So
That's great that you found your courage.
thank you.
Yeah. Is there a certain genre of music that you like to perform?
I mean, yeah, when it comes to singing music, I mean, show tunes from particular shows, and other than that, just whatever pop rock type of music that more so classic stuff like John Denver, Glenn Campbell, country, or more on the pop side like the Beatles, Beach Boys, just stuff that's really peppy and just makes me want to sing. So
Yeah. What would you say makes performing enjoyable for you?
I guess I'd have to say the acting aspect, because for me, singing isn't just standing there and singing. There's also a deeper emotion, a deeper meaning to it, and that's I've sort of found that in in stage acting, and yeah, I just enjoy that. Yeah, it's not just that one layer of just the act of singing, but there's more to it, and whether it's based on what facial expressions you use, or hand motions, or just your overall presence, it's a nice tight package that there's just a lot more to it, and it goes deep. So
Yeah. Would you say that you have any musical mentors?
I definitely have to say the theater directors from my high school. They really as I progressed in auditions, they really helped me feel like I was going in the right direction. And they sort of saw, I guess, a spark in me before I realized it. They were like, I see something in you, but you're really containing it inside and you don't want to let it out yet. And then they helped me get to a point where I was letting it out. So yeah, I'd have to give them props for that. So.
Yeah, it's great when we have mentors who say the things we need to hear at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Is singing something you're hoping to incorporate in any of your career goals?
I mean, I suppose to an extent. I'm in college. I'm going into film, which is my ultimate goal, to be in filmmaking. But I still have some passion left for theater, so I would very much like to find myself on the stage again. But only the future will tell. At the moment, I don't necessarily have plans for that, but I definitely wouldn't mind going that route again. We'll just have to see. So.
Right. How do you hope to improve in your musical abilities?
Just keep singing. Just not just singing, but I come from a fairly musical family. My family different members play different instruments. I played the cello through school, and I still play it here and there. But just to keep immersing myself in music in general, and to just practice makes perfect, as they say.
Did you say your family was musical too?
Yes. Not so much in the theater aspect, but my father plays the guitar and other instruments, and he actually teaches it, guitar and piano. And my mother and brother play some keyboard. We actually have a harpsichord at home.
Wow.
And we all take turns, plunking away at that. So it's always fun. But yeah, we just love music. I mean, who doesn't love music? I mean, come on. So yeah, it's just it just it comes from the soul and is a sort of a universal language. And yeah, the main way that I express that is singing, but also incorporating, you know, the acting aspect also.
Yeah, that's great. Where do you think we can see you perform next?
I mean, the song I just performed, I sung for a couple coffee houses ago. So if you see me anywhere singing, it will probably be maybe at the next coffee house, maybe the one after that, but definitely over the next couple months, yeah, you'll probably see me at coffee house. So, yeah.
Alrighty then. Do you think there's anything I might have missed that you might want to share with everybody?
I think that just about covers it. Those are really good questions, by the way. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here. This is a great place. YBTV is the place to be. So.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you've done a great job tonight. And that is all for this week's segment of YB Tonight. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your night, Messiah University.